How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
Truth is,
I am Iron Man.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
When people ask you what happened here, tell them the North remembers.
and here we go.
Welcome to Not Another Movie Pod. I'm Zach Williamson with Luke Goosens and Ross Cutsforth this week. Today we're going to talk some Game of Thrones. We're going to talk this Batman casting, and then we're going to finish up with our review of Ad Astra and discussion. So if you haven't seen it, by the end, just cut off and come back to it. Okay, first, so this is something we didn't talk about in the last pod because we wanted to wait until Ross was back. And this is about the Doom of Valyria rumored prequel. So this is like some information that came out, I don't know how many months ago, a while back, but we just have never talked about it. And I decided, hey, we should just talk about it because we've been talking about all these other prequels. So this is the rumored prequel from Max Borenstein. He is the writer of Godzilla. He did King Kong. He did King of the Monsters too. But that I'm not even going to give that all to him because I think that was more the other director for the shit that we didn't like with that one.
Yeah.
And this one's titled Empire of Ash. It's a prequel series set leading up to the events of Doom of Valyria, which, for listeners who don't know, that was the massive super eruption which destroyed the Valyrian freehold in a single day. Pretty much wiped out all of the dragon riders, except for maybe some that were kind of outside of that realm. But even after they wiped everyone out, all the other dragon lords ended up getting slaughtered in the events that happened after. What was that event called, Ross?
The Century of Blood. Either that or some of them tried to go back and conquer Valyria again, and then they just never came back.
Yeah, there was one guy named Arion or something. He had a fat army too, 30,000 troops. And he tried to go back to Valyria, but then his whole army disappeared, including him. Because whenever you go back to Valyria now, shit happens.
Yeah. I think it was, it was Arion, you're right.
Yeah, dude was never seen again, though.
There's a couple people that did that too. Tom the Second Lannister, and he was, I don't know, he was hot-headed and he was trying to go get glory and shit.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, he lost their only Valyrian sword until they got Widowmaker and Oathkeeper from Ice, but...
So he went across the sea to take that shit back?
Yeah. He was like, oh, we can go find out all their magic shit and try to conquer tame dragons and stuff, and we could rival the Targaryens. And
damn, that would have been the worst time to try to take that over, because that was when it was just a huge power struggle.
Yeah. But no one was really fighting over Valyria.
Or maybe best time.
I don't know, dude, because isn't that when the Dothraki then started just slaughtering everyone?
Yeah, but...
They started going west?
They were going into the free cities. They attacked Qohor and Lys, I think, and a bunch of other places like that. But Valyria is further south of there, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Dothraki weren't really messing with it.
Yeah, they might not even got that far for a little bit.
Yeah. Do you see the Bibles? Or not see them, but did you see what that guy wrote about the Bibles that are made for this already and how far along this already is? It's insane.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot. Let me finish up the details on that too. So the story, it's going to center on, I assume it won't be super, how far back do you think it's going to be, Ross? It's not going to be like into the wars that happened before. It's more going to be right before the events, right? Doom of Valyria, probably like the 20 years within that.
Yeah, I doubt it's been into the Giscari Wars or anything, but I would say, well, the Targaryens left, I think, 200 years before the events of the Doom of Valyria. There was a bunch of...
They left 12 years before.
My bad. They established Dragonstone 200 years before the Doom. But that's not when the Targaryens left.
Yeah, they've had Dragonstone for a minute. It was like their western outpost of everything.
Yeah, like their western... Not really capital, but just, yeah, you're right, an outpost. Yeah, that was just when they established it.
Yeah, so 12 years before. And this story is supposed to focus on three political factions. One would be the Sphinxes, the Young Dragons, and then the Freeholders. And in the report, it said that there will be a major point of view character from each of those. Don't know where the Targaryens would factor into that, but they said the Targaryens would be a factor in this story too.
Yeah. What was interesting too was that they said the story was going to be a third to half of it was going to be centered in Sithorios, which I was really surprised about. I'm not super surprised because the Valyrians did establish outposts in Sithorios too. I think they were one of the only empires to do that. But I wasn't expecting it to or to have that big of an influence, that country.
Yeah, and for the listeners who don't know, that's kind of George R. R. Martin's version of Africa.
Yeah. And the main city there that got established was Zamitar. And it's right at the head of a delta at the top of Sithorios, so delta is just where all the rivers runs into the ocean. And at this point in A Song of Ice and Fire or Game of Thrones or whatever you want to call it, Zamitar and all of those outposts, because I think there's 4 cities that are established in Sithorios and they're all abandoned because of the disease. And there's these people called the Brindled Men and they just come in and fuck your shit up.
Yeah, it's kind of a shitty place to live.
The Brindled Men?
Yeah. In A Dance of Dragons, Daenerys, I think, has one of them fight, or she watches one of them fight in the pit in Marine.
What's like their abilities? Or are they just badass humans?
They have really thick, they have thicker skin, way thicker skin than a normal human. So if you were to try to cut one, it wouldn't cut them the same as a regular human. And they're not quite as smart as regular humans. They're kind of like a little bit like Neanderthals.
Huh.
So
some caveman boys.
Yeah, kind of. It's what they're described as. And I think they're cannibals too.
Oh,
so they eat other humans. Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah, and another cool detail on this is Miguel Sapochnik is rumored to be attached to direct the pilot. So they're pretty, if this actually happens, they're pretty far along with what they want to do with this. And like you were saying, Ross, they have a whole Bible of stuff that they plan to develop with it. And they want to go at least 5 seasons with this one too. It'd be a longer story.
Yeah, which would be awesome. I would be more excited for this one than I would be for The Long Night. Just because this one has more, I don't know, of a story, of a backstory already there to work with. And it's got more of the things that we're used to in Game of Thrones with dragons and the Valyrians and the political intricacies and stuff. Whereas Long Night's not going to have that kind of politicking. It's going to be more about smaller nations warring against each other. But it's not going to be about, I don't know, the political game.
I agree with some aspects. I think, yeah, with this, you're going to have more political because there's not even like a real king. It's kind of everyone, all these dragon lords are vying for their own power. And it's working towards this magical event, just like in the TV show with the Doom of Valyria. Yeah. But I do think that the Long Night show it's going to be kind of the same thing, right? Aren't we thinking it's going to be all these political factors, 100 nations? And by the end of it, how does it get from 100 down to 7? So there's got to be something that's crazy shit that's going to happen in this story. I think that's what they're going to show in this one.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't become the 7 kingdoms until Aegon. So it's not going to show that.
Well, before that's even 9 kingdoms, and isn't there 12 at one point? So they got to get it. They got to narrow it down eventually.
That's changing all the time. And yeah, but we'll see. I think it's going to be more about just the life of war and surviving in a kind of state like that rather than the politics of backstabbing and, you know.
I think we'll see. I think George R. R. Martin did say something about it there will be the political aspect of it too. But a lot of war, yeah. A lot of war. There's going to be war for sure, just with all these nations.
That's like his specialty too. He's good at
balancing
politics and backstabbing kind of thing.
And the dynamic of the children of the forest and the humans are allies at this point too will be interesting to see because there was a lot more of them, at least until the Andals come over.
Yeah. You mean once? Oh, with the First Men? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on this? I think we got everything on it. Mm-mm. Oh, I forgot to mention that Valyrians at this point, they had a population of at least 300 dragons. So a lot more fucking dragons.
Oh yeah. It's going to be badass. I bet it'll start maybe, yeah, probably you're right. Probably like 15 years before the Doom.
Yeah. Cause even, dude, it would be so hard to show even all the wars and how they took over, how the Valyrian freehold formed. That would take,
yeah.
Cause that happened over thousands of years.
Yeah. I think it was 5,000 years. I wrote that down. Before the Doom, the Valyrian Empire lasted 5,000 years.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's an empire right there.
Okay. Anything else? Moving on.
No, I'm good.
So big news came out this week for the Batman with some casting news. First, Westworld's Jeffrey Wright got cast as Jim Gordon. It said Commissioner Gordon, but I think, Luke, we were talking about this the other day, if it's the Long Halloween, he'd have to be captain at this point. It's earlier on in his career. So if it's Commissioner Gordon, then they're not. I don't think they're going to be adapted in the Long Halloween. So we'll see. But so anyway, he's cast. He's a good actor. I'm totally okay with it. What do you guys think? Or Ross, at least, you watch Westworld.
Yeah, I think he's a great actor. I don't know. I feel like people aren't really getting as outraged at this as they were about Ariel or anything. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, I saw there was a few saying that you're casting predominantly white characters as a black person, but who cares, dude? This guy's a great actor. That shit doesn't matter at all. Apparently before that, they were trying to get Mahershala Ali before he got swooped up to play for Blade by the MCU.
He is a good actor, yeah.
It could be an interesting take.
Yeah, so no problem with that.
I would rather them just create a new character, but I don't think it's that big of a deal because he's a great actor and I think he'll do a great take on the character.
Create a new character?
How?
Like if they're going to make a new character, because that one I don't think Commissioner Gordon has ever been black before, but
I don't think he has. But why? So you're saying you'd want to create a new character for Jeffrey Wright?
Well, yeah, that's what I would prefer over everything. But I mean, he's a great actor, and I think he's going to be fine in that role. It's not that big of a deal to me. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? You guys seem silent about it. Do you disagree?
Oh, I mean, for me, just saying, yeah, I think whoever is the best person for the role, and the rumors that they were going to cast a black person for it have been going around for a while, especially with the Mahershala thing coming out too. So I don't have a problem with it. They're talking about casting Two-Face as a black guy too. Doesn't matter for me. It's whoever is the best character, or best actor for this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on that? So then the other news, Jonah Hill is reportedly in talks for a role. It's either, there was like a lot of confusion when the news first dropped, because at first it just said a villain. Then it came out and said it's going to be the Riddler. Then a next report after that said it's down between Penguin or the Riddler. Neither side on this. Like WB can't decide what they want to do. He can't decide what he wants to do with it. And on top of it, he asked for $10 million for the fucking role. And for example, Robert Pattinson, he's getting less than $5 million to play Batman.
Jesus.
And yeah, and like Joaquin Phoenix for the Joker role, he's getting $4.5 million. So it's like, dude, that's a lot of money to ask for one. And if it's the Long Halloween and you're doing kind of this detective story, like we've been thinking and what it's been hinted at, how big of a role really is either the Penguin or the Riddler going to have in this,
Yeah.
I feel like if it's the Riddler and it's a detective story, he's going to have a big part, right?
He will. I think the Riddler would have a bigger part in this. Yeah.
Yeah. At the same time, it's going to be an ensemble cast of villains. So
yeah, Rogues Gallery.
So he's not going to have as big of a part as if it was just him facing off against Batman. But maybe they'll do like a Hush storyline. That would be sweet. Do you guys ever see that Batman Hush?
What?
It's a storyline where Riddler just disguises himself. He wraps his face in bandages and he calls himself Hush. And
No.
I don't know.
He's just fucking with Batman.
Yeah.
Is that a TV show or is that a comic?
It's an animated movie. It's pretty damn good, actually.
Well, dude.
It's probably based off a comic run, but I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah.
When has Jonah Hill been a fucking, I don't know. I can't see him as the Riddler being a serious bad guy. He's always been the just dingus,
I don't know, man.
I think the Riddler so who played the Riddler in past? Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
So probably wouldn't be as goofy as that shit.
But but the Riddler's got mastermind, he's always playing tricks and puzzles. Someone like, who's the dude that played Scarecrow in Batman Begins?
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy, that dude would be good. I wish he hadn't played. I guess he still could because it's separate. I like him because he's more.
Different universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Because he's a good actor and he's more serious. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I could see Jonah Hill doing this.
I couldn't. Jonah Hill's just the idiot.
Two-time Oscar nominee.
For what?
Right.
Wolf of Wall Street? What was he in the Wolf of Wall Street? He's the dude that said, hey, let's throw midgets into a fucking... Velcro wall. Like, come on, dude.
And Moneyball. That was the other one.
I didn't see Moneyball, but still, dude, come on.
Ooh, that's a great movie.
Moneyball is a little more serious.
Yeah, definitely.
But have you seen Maniac? Maniac was what got me thinking, because in Maniac, he plays... It's kind of this trippy... dream sort of world thing, and in it he plays 4 or 5 different versions of himself, and he plays like a depressed guy. He plays a really eccentric character, plays kind of like a gangster in it even. So that was the show for me that made me think, okay, he has some range.
It's a show?
It's a TV show on Netflix. Cary Fukunaga directed and wrote
6 episodes.
Yeah, 6 or 8.
Yeah. I think Jake Gyllenhaal would be pretty good too.
As the Riddler? Yeah, dude, he could be. I don't know if he would do another comic book kind of role after Spider-Man. He said that it took him forever to do a comic book movie because he just had to really care about the character.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen Nightcrawler?
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. I can't remember the name of it. Nightcrawler. He's fucking weirdo in that. Yeah. I mean, he's played some weirdos in a few of his roles.
Donnie Darko, yeah.
There was that Netflix one earlier this year. I can't remember. The one where the fucking paintings come alive and shit.
Oh, yeah. It's Velvet Buzzsaw.
Yeah. He's played some fucking weirdos. So that would be a good one. But I think I'm okay with Jonah Hill, and Matt Reeves has been apparently eyeing him for around a year now to get him into this shit, to see if he could get him in there.
Yeah, I'm definitely okay with Jonah Hill. I think he's a great actor.
Okay, I'm trying to think. Oh, and then did you guys see this rumored shortlist from a month ago with Jamie Foxx also was in talks for maybe the Riddler, and Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, see? Oh, I could see Jamie Foxx as a Riddler because he's like kind of smooth talking, but he's also smart as fuck.
Yeah, and he's got a little tiny bit of crazy side he can let out, you know?
Yeah, I'd be down as fuck on Jamie Foxx as a Riddler.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Or who was the other one?
It was Giancarlo Esposito. We're going to see him in The Mandalorian, but he was in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he was Gus in Breaking Bad, huh? Yeah.
I can't remember what role he was rumored for, but that might have been the Two-Face one.
He's really smooth talking too. I love the sound of his voice. It's like silky smooth.
Yeah.
So like even toned and just, it's crazy.
So some of these villain roles, like this shit gets me excited because I felt like that's what they're going to have to do is get some really heavy hitters as your villains for this, with Robert Pattinson being your lead.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what he does with the Batman role. Could be amazing.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
As of lately. His shit lately.
Yeah. It's a lot like the Heath Ledger cast for the Joker to me. Just somebody you wouldn't, most people in the public wouldn't expect to be good in that role, but is low-key a really good actor and I think could kill it.
Yeah, he's a great actor. Christopher Nolan wanted him as Batman at one point. He said it wasn't for him.
Yeah, I think he had his eyes set on the Joker character, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a role that people were not happy about at first when it was cast, and then look what he did with it.
People hated that at first. We'll see though.
Yeah, we'll see. So then there's probably more casting info. I know that Catwoman's probably going to be in this movie, so that's going to happen soon too. It's a big role in the Long Halloween storyline too. So more on that when it comes.
Who do you guys want to see play Catwoman? You guys got anybody?
How about Ana de Armas, Blade Runner 2049 girl?
Oh yeah. Do you think she's fierce enough? Think she has that spunk?
I think she could be. I couldn't really at first never see Anne Hathaway with it, and I thought she did great. So we'll just bring her back.
She did do good with it. I won't be pissed about that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm blanking, honestly. I was just going through a list in my head.
The rumor is supposed to be some ethnicity for that role.
We've already seen Halle Berry, though. It's not a big deal.
No, yeah. No problem with that either. That's why I said Ana de Armas. She's Brazilian.
Yeah. I was thinking, I can't think of her name. MJ from Spider-Man Far From Home.
Zendaya?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Zendaya.
I could see that. I don't know. Are they allowed to cross over?
She might be too young, though.
So Jeffrey Wright's going to be the voice in What If of, what is that? The Collector, Ross? Is that his role?
Yeah. Or the Watcher. The Watcher,
that's it. It's not the Collector. The Watcher. So, yeah, they do some crossovers.
Yeah.
I always think that was a rumor that you couldn't do both. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's for recognition purposes. You don't want to have someone be...
Or they probably have contracts.
If they're a huge role in the MCU, it'd be hard for you to then jump over.
Well, I think most of their contracts are just for, like, you can't do movies during this period because we need you for filming for Marvel movies.
Taika Waititi, he's going to be in the Suicide Squad. And he directed Thor Ragnarok. He's been a character in the MCU, and he's going to direct another Thor movie. So I don't know. Maybe that was a rule earlier on. It doesn't feel like that's as big a thing going as of lately.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on this? Do you guys want to talk about the Warner Bros. Aurora shooting stuff, or should we just skip it and go straight into Ad Astra?
I don't have too much to say.
I don't have their quotes written in front of me. I think it's all kind of bullshit. It's a fucking movie, you know, just.
Oh, I know, dude. People take shit so fucking, I mean.
Yeah, I agree with Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, I think it is something to take seriously because people are dying, but I don't think that you should censor your art and live in fear of stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was perfectly said.
This stuff reminds me of the whole video games are what's causing gun violence. And then they're going to say a movie is causing it. It's just,
calling a movie dangerous, that's absurd.
And I don't think anyone's going to think the Joker is a good guy, right? He's a fucking villain.
Yeah. I was looking at Todd Phillips' quote and I agreed with it. Just that.
What did he say?
He was just saying no one's asking you to, you know, feel you have to be on his side or anything. He's just saying, look at this story and it's a story about not being loved, not being nurtured. And we're just trying to make you empathize with where he's coming from and see where he's coming from. But you don't have to be on his side or you don't have to agree with what he's doing. But we're just showing him as a human, you know?
Yeah. It's just a story. It's a movie. It's not, yeah. Okay. Someone asked Joaquin Phoenix about this the other day too, and he walked out of the interview. Just, I mean, probably just getting asked about it so much all the time.
Probably, yeah.
And the same response every time. Dude, it's a movie. You should know better what is good and what is bad. That's it.
Yeah, he said that too. He was saying how he thinks that, yeah, it's pretty obvious.
He did say that, right? He said it's obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, so nothing more on that. Okay, so next we're going to review Ad Astra. So if you have not seen it, log off.
Get out of here.
Or don't see it, whatever. Don't listen. Or spoil yourself if you want to. You don't care.
Yeah. Say fuck it. If you want to say fuck it, say fuck it.
Yeah. Okay. So can I go first on this one?
Yeah,
Get
go
crazy.
Go stupid.
Okay. So Ad Astra. I thought the movie overall, I thought it was solid. I thought the visuals were incredible. The cinematography, especially, it was the same guy who did Interstellar. Same dude. Shit was awesome. And I really thought that they captured just the coldness and vastness of space. And it paralleled really well with how Brad Pitt was feeling isolated. What was his character's name? McBride. And just how he felt to other people.
Yeah, Roy
McBride.
Brad's character was named Brad.
Brad.
Just a Brad.
Sorry.
So then, no, you're all good. And I really liked the color aesthetic. That was also really well done, especially on Mars. The shots on Mars when the woman was walking through the hallway, and just when he was in his room and they were showing all those Earth colors. And I feel like, dude, you would have to have that shit to live on that kind of planet, especially if you had been to Earth and then you're just on this shitty red planet where you can barely breathe the air.
No one really there.
Yeah, pretty deserted.
Yeah, when she walked in, wasn't it a desert or something? And then she walked in the room and then it turned to like an ocean kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was switching to a bunch of cool shit.
There was fish swimming around. Then there's one in a big grassland with birds flying up in the air. Just a bunch of stuff from nature, basically.
Yeah, just a bunch of really cool shots. And Brad Pitt, his acting was great.
Oh, yeah.
The scene where he was calling his dad and just the emotion on his face. It's like, holy shit, dude, this guy's on a tear this year with his acting.
Yeah.
And Tommy Lee Jones, I thought, did pretty good with what, little bit he had.
Yeah.
He came off as a fucking douchebag dad, deadbeat. Thought he did well with that.
When he was talking to him about how he didn't care about him or anything.
Such a dick, dude.
It was fucked.
I was, yeah. It took a lot for Roy at that point to not just be like, fuck you, dude. I'm like,
it's time to go, Dad.
That's what he was trying to get him to do, though, was just to leave.
Yeah.
Saying all that shit. But I'm sure he really did not fucking care about anyone at all.
Oh,
this was his whole life goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
and
yeah, there's definitely a really strong message about living for, I don't know, one purpose, one goal, and just living in solitude versus getting help from people. And I'll talk more about that later, though.
Yeah, well, we can talk about it now. I really like that message, too, that he was going to become that person. He was going to become his dad if he didn't realize. And I think that helped him realize right then that you need people. You can't just be alone in this galaxy, per se.
Mm-hmm.
I like that message, too. I just thought it was a little bit heavy-handed at times.
Yeah. And then so going on, the world building was great, too. Just them the commercial flight to the moon.
Yeah.
Just the weaponry. That's the shit that will happen, I feel, if we do go and do a settlement on the fucking moon. It's going to turn into like a Vegas kind of outpost.
Yeah. Wild West.
Yeah. I don't know about the wild. I'll get into that at the end. But yeah, I thought there's just the technology and it just felt very realistic to where we could head as a civilization. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
And the laws would definitely be a little loosey-goosey up there.
Yeah, for real. I mean, the thing is, what fucking resources did they say in the movie what they were looking for?
I don't know.
Oh, on the moon? The only thing I came up with... Yeah. The thing that I came up with in my head was for the reason that they would go to the moon then Mars was just because the moon has way lower gravity and no atmosphere. So it'd be a lot cheaper to fly long distance or do long distance traveling via rocket ship from the moon to places instead of the Earth.
Yeah, that was one of the things is I wish they just explained that maybe they made some technology that was able to turn either something in the moon into a resource, because it's just if it was a real resource up there, we'd be trying to get to it right now.
Yeah, that's why I came up with what.
Well, there are real resources in asteroids, and we don't go there. It's just too expensive to go into space.
Yeah.
Okay, good point.
Like, dude, the first person to mine a fucking asteroid is going to be a trillionaire or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. And the space tower from Earth, just that scene where he was falling down to Earth, that should remind me of Mission Impossible Fallout, that fucking diving scene. And for me, I can see why people would think the movie was boring if you were going in expecting this crazy space fucking action movie. But for me, I thought I never felt really bored. I thought it kept going it could have gone a little quicker, but I wasn't bored. You know what I mean? I thought that there was enough stuff that happened throughout to keep me engaged in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yeah. I thought they paced out the action pretty decently. Maybe a little bit towards the end, but for the most part, it kept me entertained.
Yeah, and the fucking space monkeys did not expect that shit. I did not know what was going to happen at them. I was thinking alien.
Like, what is it? I know, dude. I was like, what is about to pop out right now?
When his body was convulsing, I was like, oh shit, some parasite.
What the fuck is going on? And my first immediate thought when I saw that shit, I was like, okay, this is a stealth prequel to Planet of the Apes or something. That was my first thought. So I was thinking Fox. I was like, is Fox owns Planet of the Apes? That was what I thought. And then I was like, okay, no, this was a biology ship or something like that, or a research ship.
Yeah.
So then I just worked through it and I was like, okay, that makes sense why they had animals. They're probably testing shit on these things. And then one of those fucking space, whatever, those waves or whatever. Yeah, surges happened and then their cages got unlocked and they went crazy.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good connection to the monkeys when he said that part about how he felt used by the government and like the monkeys probably felt the same way. He related to that rage. I thought that was a good connection.
Okay, that's what. Yeah, I wasn't really sure why that was even in there, to be honest. But I guess, yeah, just the monkey's rage comparing to his own, to the baboons.
You mean just why they even had that side adventure?
Yeah, that whole scene.
I just figured it's another effect of just this crazy space. What were they called again?
What? The
Space Command?
Space wave.
The
wave shit.
The surge is anti-gravity surge or something.
Yeah, the surges.
Dark matter surge, yeah.
Yeah, I just figured that whole event was a side effect of that kind of shit somehow. So I didn't have any problem with that. I could see why if people might not have liked that whole scene, but I thought I was okay with it.
I just wish they would have explained some of the science better. And then one other thing I was talking with Christian about after the movie is I wish they would have established a connection between him and his dad more. You know, maybe had some scenes earlier in the movie, kind of, because we were comparing it to Interstellar and how Interstellar starts off with Murph and what's Matthew McConaughey's character's name in that?
Can't remember.
I can't remember.
Well, you know how they start out together and they form a bond and the movie grows them together and grows that bond, and then they get separated, and then it kind of makes you're invested in that character relationship. Whereas this one, don't really care about the dad at all, you know?
Yeah, but you're not supposed to really care about the dad. I gave a shit about that guy. It's about this dude. And even if you didn't have that connection to your dad, it's still your dad and you want that connection.
It's still kind of a lot of suspense. You're waiting for him to meet him. What's he going to be like? What's the real story? You know? For me, the whole time I was like, fuck, when's he going to meet him? What's he going to be like when he meets him, you know?
I was thinking that too, but I just think it would have been a little more heartbreaking when he was saying all that shit about not caring about him if they would have already had a bond.
Dude, that sucked. I was like, damn, if my dad said that to me, I would be like, fuck you, dad.
Well,
you know?
Yeah, but that's because you know and love your dad. You know, you have a relationship with him.
Yeah.
Exactly, which is why it was so sad to fucking see that, you know?
Yeah, good point. I think he must have just known that his dad was fucked up and there wasn't going to be really anything nice said to him. The only real connection was when he tried to call him back, but they cut him off because he sent back a message or something, right?
Yeah.
It could have been nothing, though. You could have just told him to fuck off.
That was bullshit, dude. That's fascist shit. They're not even showing him the message after he just... I mean, that's not a problem with the movie. I was just pissed at that corporation.
Yeah, that they used him like that and just not even tell him the whole truth. It's crazy.
Bunch of fuckers.
It's fucked. Yeah. And then so I had some critiques too. And my first one for me, I really liked the whole moon pirate shit, but I was also at the same time, okay, why is a moon rover less protected than the Mars rover even?
I was thinking that same shit.
What the fuck? and why are government soldiers or just officials going from this base to their other base not more protected if they know that there's fucking space pirates out there who are being paid by other governments? And dude, I don't know, man. That I still like the scene, but at the same time, I was just like, what the fuck? And then he just conveniently goes off the ship or off that
crater,
into that crater, and then it's right to where he needs to go. Very convenient.
Yeah, very. And they just drove off. They're like, we'll just let him go.
Yeah, why didn't they go after him if they really wanted it? They didn't think that they were going to land that shit if they're just floating.
I guess.
It was cool, though. The scene was cool. It just, when I was thinking back on it, well, what the fuck? Just, why didn't they protect this dude better?
Yeah, I wish they would have explained some of the world building stuff like that better.
I just felt I could suspend belief for a lot of it.
Yeah.
Get stuck it's set in a future that's
different.
That's different. So I didn't think it was that big a deal.
Man,
yeah, I think that one was the big one for me. And then the rest, I didn't really care. Like, I didn't care that he jumped on a fucking shield and flew through an asteroid field back. That one didn't bother me as much.
That one bothered me more for sure. Because
really?
He was speeding up as he was going through the asteroids, even though that would slow him down. If the front of it was getting hit with stuff, that would decrease his velocity, you know? But for some reason, he was speeding up through that shit. Like it was a boost, like a Mario Kart boost for him.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
I can't even. It probably would have slowed down. Yeah, because you'd hit something and then they would take your energy
and
a little bit.
Like grabbing onto the fucking spaceship that's probably hurtling at thousands upon thousands of miles per hour. Yeah, it would probably just smush him into a bug if
or his arm would fucking break off or some shit, man.
Yeah, when he uses air gauges and then he just sends himself at it. No fucking.
That shield should have been more fucked up for sure.
Oh yeah.
But whatever, dude. That one didn't bother. I don't know why the fucking moon rover shit did.
Have you guys seen Apocalypse Now?
I haven't.
Yeah. I haven't seen it all the way through though.
Oh, this was, I don't know, to me, it's like a space a copy almost of Apocalypse Now without the fucking war overtones in it. It was literally identical. So the main character is going on this quest to find this almost mythological person. They're narrating it over the entirety of the story. They get stuck. So in Apocalypse Now, he gets put onto a what do you call that? It's called a PBR. That's what it is. It's like this boat and it ferries him up the river and he gets stuck with this crew and the entire crew dies besides one dude. And then he gets stuck. And then in what's it called at Astra, he gets stuck on the spaceship with that crew and they all die. I mean,
that was
another part. That crew was so fucking incompetent.
Bunch of idiots.
Dude, no, literally. But same thing with Apocalypse Now. Like the entirety of the crew is a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Like everyone on the boat is a bunch of idiots. And then there was like this one line and I was like, well, honestly, I was sitting through the movie and I was like, where this is so fucking familiar to another movie I've seen. And then he said the line, what was he thinking? Because he was talking about his dad. Roy was talking about, or Brad Pitt was talking about his dad.
Yeah.
What was he thinking? What did he find out there? And I swear to God, that's a word for word fucking quote from Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now. He literally says, what was he thinking? What did he find out there in the jungle or something like that?
Should I watch that movie?
Damn, I'm gonna watch that movie now.
No, you 100% have to watch. You'll be like, what the fuck? He voiceovers just like Brad Pitt. It's like about, you know how Brad Pitt's talking about his emotions and what he's trying to suppress or what he's feeling.
He kind of has his own therapy with those machines.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when he voiceovers. Like
the narration.
Yeah, the narration.
I didn't like the narration. That was one of my critiques.
Watch Apocalypse Now. You'll get it. You'll get it if you watch Apocalypse Now. And then fucking, what else? There was just so much, dude, that paralleled it. And the scene where he was fucking stuck in space, or where he's on his final voyage from Mars to Neptune. It's all trippy and shit. And that's his last kind of, what do you call that, hurdle before he finally finds his dad. It's kind of the same thing with Martin Sheen right before he has to cross this bridge, but it's under attack, and it's just fucking trippy mayhem chaos, and it is like the exact same type of vibe. Just fucking, you know how it was blurry double camera visions. It's the exact same thing, dude.
Yeah, just in his head.
Yeah.
Supposed to depict him just losing his mind over 3 months of solitude.
No,
dude, that would suck.
It's like, and that's kind of what Apocalypse Now is. As he goes further and further into the jungle, he descends deeper and deeper into the war, and shit just gets wilder and crazier. You know, it's like as he gets further and further from Earth, he just loses himself even more and gets more distant and more lonely. I don't know. You guys really should watch it. I was tripping balls. I was like, what the fuck? This is the same fucking thing.
I did see, I swear I saw like a review say that too, or something, that it definitely felt inspired by Apocalypse Now, but I'd never seen the movie, so I had no clue what the actual connection would be.
Yeah.
No, I know. I thought everyone would have seen that. So when I got home, I fucking looked it up at Astra Apocalypse Now, and I saw, I think the review you're talking about, but I didn't see a lot else more on it.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna have to watch that one. I mean, now I know the whole movie, but it's fun.
Yeah. Oh,
I've only seen.
I was just trying to like point it out, you know.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I was gonna say though. Is the narration for me that felt like a studio kind of plugin, because as this movie was filmed back in October 2017, so over almost 2 years ago, and they had to do reshoots and shit, and that felt like one of the things that the studio said, "Hey, you need to kind of explain this more," but a lot of the narration for me felt like it was something you could have figured out just by watching the movie, kind of what he thought. And I thought that the parts where he does his debriefing or whatever, his psych evals, I thought that would have taken the part of him having to do the narration, if that makes sense. It felt, I don't know, that was one of my critiques too, is I didn't really, there was some narration that I thought I was okay with, but some of it I was like, we don't need this. It would add a whole nother layer of solitude if you don't have that.
Yeah, just making him feel, and I think Brad Pitt's acting was so good that you could see the emotions on his face. You could already tell what he was thinking, you know?
It made me feel lonely, dude. I was lonely as fuck watching that movie.
It made me want to call my dad.
Yeah.
Really?
Like, Dad, I love you.
Yeah. So for me overall, I'll probably, as you guys are talking, think of more stuff. But overall, I thought it was solid. I don't think I'll ever watch this movie again. I don't think it's a masterpiece. Like, I've seen a bunch of reviews calling this shit a masterpiece. I'm like, dude, what are you fucking talking about here? It's a good space movie, and I would say anyone should watch it once just for even Brad Pitt's acting and the cinematography. Yeah. But I don't think I'll watch this movie anytime soon. I don't see it being a big Oscar contender in my opinion, but we'll see it. I mean, the other people...
It's not like I'd recommend it to my friends. Be like, dude, you need to see Ad Astra.
No.
You know?
If they asked me about it, I'd be like, yeah, it was good.
Well, if you like space movies, I'd still say, yeah, go see it. Yeah. And I still think it's a pretty good movie. Not a masterpiece in my book. Okay.
I mean, they already made Apocalypse Now. That's the masterpiece, bud.
Apparently it is, though, I guess.
So what do you guys think? Ross, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we had a pretty open discussion. We talked about most of it, but I really liked the beginning. It started off super just intense and visceral. And with him flying down through the atmosphere, that was a really good touch of him losing control, him not being able to stabilize because the atmosphere is too thin.
Yeah.
And that really set it up. I was like, all right, this is going to be a super accurate movie. It's going to have a lot of attention to detail. Kind of faltered on that, but...
And then they had fucking crazy chimps.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that whole part was really intense. It was good. Shout out to Liv Tyler, Aerosmith's daughter. She had a whole...
She needs to stop dating astronauts, man.
Yeah. First Bruce Willis, and now Brad Pitt.
It was Ben Affleck, right?
Oh, yeah, it was Ben Affleck.
Oh, well, wasn't she Bruce Willis's daughter? I can't remember.
Yeah.
What movie is that? Armageddon. Fuck.
Not a great movie, but...
Yeah, you want to talk about a movie that, like, science is way fucking off? That movie.
They land on a fucking asteroid. I mean, that is possible, but...
Oh, dude, come on. Armageddon is the most ridiculous.
Yeah, that movie's wild. Yeah, I like the beginning a lot. And then I would say probably the beginning, and then some parts on the moon and some parts on the Mars. I really liked. You were saying the cinematography was great, and just how they're using the lighting to convey the Martian atmosphere was amazing. And how they drained all the color out of the moon shots and just made it really look like there's no atmosphere, there's no color there. You know, it was the moon. They didn't make it like black and white at the same time, but they made it really realistic and plausible.
Yeah, for me, that's why when there was parts that were slow, I was okay with it just because of the shots that they were showing. I was like, this is fucking sweet.
Or just great to look at.
That shot where they're passing the Earth.
Yeah.
He's like, look at the big blue marble or little blue marble. I was like, that is a sick shot.
It makes me want to go to the moon, dude.
And that'd be trippy as hell. I'd be tripping balls, dude.
Oh, yeah. I would love to go to the moon one day. It would be amazing. Yeah, what else? I said most of this stuff. Oh, another thing, kind of nitpicky. It is pretty nitpicky, but...
Well, couldn't have a review with that one.
I know, for real, Ross. Come on, lay it on us.
All right. They were talking about how Neptune is close to the heliopause in the solar system. But actually, the heliopause, it's blatantly wrong. The heliopause is over twice the distance from the sun that even Pluto is. And that's not even the edge of the solar system. So the heliopause is just the start of the edge. And then there's thousands, a huge, vast distance. And then you get to the heliosphere, then the heliopause. And then the heliopause is the edge. And then beyond that, you enter the interstellar medium, and then you're out of the solar system. But yeah, that was just a little nitpick.
Come on, dude. No one's going to know that.
I did.
You kind of lost me 2 sentences in on that one.
I was watching it and I was like, fuck this.
Heliopause and spheres and fuck, you're gone.
Hey, what do you guys think about the ending? I forgot to ask you. So I was talking to some of my coworkers, and they didn't like that it wasn't this whole alien aspect to it. But for me, I thought that made it way more realistic, because it's just, we're alone out here. There's not fucking nothing. He lost his mind thinking that he was going to find some shit out there. I like that aspect of it. It felt different. I thought it would have been cliche if there was an alien out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me want to go and donate to some type of Save the World or Save the Earth Foundation or something. Fuck, dude. This is all we got, man.
Yeah. There's not going to be shit out there that we're going to reach for real.
Yeah. I liked how it focused on the human aspect. Not saying that there are 100, not 100%, but 99 point, like infinite 9% that there are aliens out there. But the distances, the nearest solar system, the nearest star to us, Centauri A, is 4.2 light years away. So the vast distances that you have to cross to get to other aliens is just ridiculous. And that is what makes us so alone.
Yeah. Didn't they confirm this year that they have UFOs? Didn't the government confirm that shit? So this is definitely something.
Yeah, they did. I don't know if confirmed, but yeah.
I swear to God, they made a statement.
I saw that too.
When are you fucking all tinfoil hat on these bitches?
No, because
I'm not being. I'm only saying this because the legit government said, "Hey, there's these UFOs. We don't know what they were. They released footage of just ships that were like standing still in the air, 2 of them, and then they just dipped. Yeah, they don't know what happened to them
because it was from the flight recorder of those 2 F-17 Raptors, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If the government is saying this shit to me, then I might listen. That's
what? Okay, you're gonna have to send me a link, buddy.
Yeah, I will. It was right when they released all that shit about how Hitler was low-key alive too. Yeah.
Dude, talking about Hitler, I have some mice in my fucking house. I'm about to take a page out of fucking Hitler's book, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus. Quarantine and kill. That's what I'm about to do.
Fuck those mice up, I guess.
Dude.
Get those boys.
Dude, they came into my room and I saw some on my windowsill. I was like, fuck. They're on my bed. So I washed everything.
They're tough to get rid of. You're going to have to do that, honestly.
Dude, I cleaned my house from top to bottom. I was so pissed.
That's St. Paul life, man.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck me.
They're just coming out of the fields, dude.
Yeah, actually, though.
Yeah.
That shit's better than cockroaches, man.
You got cockroaches?
That blows.
When I was out in Taiwan for those couple months.
Ew.
Daniel's place had fucking cockroaches.
That's
nasty.
Foul.
Dude, you could smush them and eat them.
Shut the fuck up.
Protein, baby.
People eat that shit somewhere. That's fuck.
Yeah.
Nasty guys.
Wrong, dude.
Okay. Back on the movie. Luke, what'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was good too. And the fucking cinematography was wild. I don't know. I already said, the whole movie, I was like, this is flipping apocalypse now. And then, I don't know. I didn't have really anything bad to say about it, but I'm with you, Zach. This is a one-watch movie.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's not anything crazy I haven't seen before.
I don't see myself watching this again unless it's just on TV or whatever. But I mean, I don't even have cable.
It did give me all nostalgic about Earth. I'm like, damn, I love this place, man.
Yeah.
When he was fucking in the comfort rooms and he was seeing all the birds and stuff, I was thinking, geez, I really take this kind of stuff for granted.
Yeah, for real.
Just being out in nature all the time, you don't really realize. So,
you know what's crazy is this is the only place like that for light years in any direction. There's no other planet like this. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think I would recommend it to people just because I want to keep seeing original ideas, and maybe I want to keep seeing people to try new ideas. And I do think it's worth the watch once.
After the movie was over, this dad sat up with his kid and he was like, well, that was probably a little slow for you, huh? And the little kid's like, yeah, that sucked.
The marketing for that movie definitely gave off a different kind of vibe. That is what they showed, the space. They showed him falling out of the sky. Maybe they didn't show that in the trailer, but they definitely showed the space pirates and shit. And that was the only clip they released. So I was thinking, oh shit.
Pirates, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to have to do going into the movie with the trailer, well, before I saw a couple reviews saying it was kind of slow, but before that, seeing the trailers, I thought it was going to be a lot more about war over resources and stuff on the moons and these different colonies. And I was like, all right, I'm excited about this. This could be really cool. But it focused on that dude's dad. So,
well, focused on this character.
Yeah. Well, I should have said it's focused on him trying to find his dad.
Yeah, it's a story about a character, going through, using the medium of space.
Yeah.
Can't remember what I wrote in my tweet.
A gorgeous meditation.
It was gorgeous.
It was.
You said that?
I remember there was parts in the movie where I was like, damn, I remember saying it out loud, like, that is sick.
Yeah. I remember that too. Or not you saying that, but just thinking that.
Thinking that shit. Yeah. Sorry. Anything else on this?
Not really. No. Just good.
What we got next? We're going to review Joker. That's the next movie. Probably do a pod in between that.
Fucking hyped for that.
Okay, so that's it on Astra. So we got ratings and reviews this week. We had one review. Shout out C Martin 424. Thanks for reviewing the pod, man. If you want to leave us a review or a rating, go do it on iTunes, Apple. Oh, sorry, what is it? Apple, not iTunes anymore.
Wait, it's not?
Apple, Google, wherever you can leave a rating and review. It helps a ton, guys. Follow us on Twitter at Not a Movie Pod, at Culture Crave. If you're a Marvel fan, at Marvel Facts. Game of Thrones, at Thrones Facts. We got all those pages. Follow us on all that shit.
Shout out to Julian.
Shout out Julian Gallegos.
Yeah.
J5music.com. It's our producer. What else we got? So we're going to review Joker next. Well, probably do a pod in between that. So we're going to do probably another news pod some point this week. Then we'll do Joker once that comes out. Go see Joker. It's getting a lot of fucking controversy for whatever reason. A lot of good reviews though. Joaquin Phoenix is getting Oscar buzz. I'm excited for it.
Hey, I'm very excited for this.
Yes, sir. That's going to be a good take. Yeah. And what else we got? Anything else, boys?
No, I think that's it. Later.
All right, we out. Later.
Peace.